I see the vision of the world above, because I draw strength from contemplating the things I saw and did in the underworld. I possess it, and it takes possession of my time and attention. I know that history will repeat itself. I shall wait patiently with ravaged limbs in rain, wind, heat, hail, damp, ice and snow for the reward of the saints, the white clock and the scream of gentleness. I'm prepared for the future. I'm wearing a suit as white as snow. My face is gleaming as fiercely as lightning. I have a calling. This little theater is the cage I chose myself, where at fixed times I can be visited. It's a sublime evening, a splendid sky with a red fireball. It's a brilliant horror show with light and dark blue tints here and there, with long outstretched ribbons of vivid orange. God damn it, he's the most barbaric watercolorist I know. This is too beautiful. Is it impotence that's overcoming me? I hear the sky screeching. Are the heavens wounded, or am I seeing the fireworks of a natural war? I feel it. Some of you are thinking, how can you see that? Yes, I can see heaven here. What sort of earthly paradise do we live in? I feel righteous indignation coming on when I hear the alarming fact that 85% of the world's banknotes, which I use to buy art, contain traces of cocaine. I can assure you this will decrease sharply thanks to my carefully planned, self-appointed job in the land of the fjords. I shall make another couple of lines disappear, get myself a good viewing. It teases the pain of shunning the world and missing that vibrating tissue that gives life. My beloved insects are constantly stinging or biting me. My body is tattooed all over with blisters and little swellings. I suspect my insects of enjoying the cruel pleasure of punishing me. I endure both voluntary and involuntary ordeals. I shall triumph by my escape from the underworld and my devotion to the upper world. I see the heavens here, but there too, because half an hour before you came in, I made a big circular hole in the roof of this theater. For a moment, you thought I could look straight through the roof, didn't you? A Black & Decker, fantastic tool and the right instrument for sculptural magic. I know that history will repeat itself. My mouth will tense up, my lips will dry out and split, my teeth will rot away and fall out. I will neither sigh nor whisper. There will be no murmur of complaint, only the power of tenderness. The circular opening looks like a wide open mouth. The roof may be doing what I no longer can. I feel righteous indignation coming on when I hear the alarming fact that in the sewers of this small community there are more traces of cocaine than in the sewers of the largest art metropolis in the world. Thanks to my last robbery in the land of the Norwegians and my huge and successful swindle with the heritage of the Norwegians, and of course also because of the constant sharpening of my mind by the champagne among the drugs, I can promise with my nose on my heart that no more cocaine will be wasted, no more will be flushed away, washed away, I mean. I know that history will repeat itself. I am the lowest of mankind. From Head to toe, I shall be just one big scab and crust of filth, unsuitable for the underworld, unsuitable for the upper world. And yet, mourning and sobbing, I shall not stop grasping at hope. It's the perfect painkiller to relieve my heartfelt inclination against the world and be able to bear my loss. I shall take another bit of this sniped masterpiece. This is a piece of a landscape composed of undulating red lines. It tastes of oil paint, tempera and cardboard. This is what I need. My audience, you are here in my mind, but also here in this theater, in my hortus sanitas, in my garden of health. Make yourself at home. Feel free. Can you breathe freedom? No. You are choking. And with great love, I'll teach you to appreciate the value of breathing again. I recognize some faces. I see some loyal followers, monks addicted to my behavior. I see fervent admirers too, nomads of the creative world who are looking for a way to behave. I see lots of women in the audience. That makes me very glad. Women inspire me. They will never curb my spiritual vision and zeal. Why do they bite and sting? To protect their nest in defense? But I am their nest. They have grown to adulthood in the folds of my flesh. In my apparent isolation, I want occasionally to continue to function socially. Perhaps on an evening like this, I could help people change their mind, heal the wounds in their heads. I feel righteous indignation coming on when I hear the degrading fact that old masters and modern heroes are still being bought and sold by individuals and institutions, just as in America in the past slaves were traded throughout the land, bought by bidding in auctions. I know that history will repeat itself. I shall endure superhuman pains in feverish bouts of coughing. I shall soil myself with green snot and mucus. I shall cry without tears, and my organs will swell up at the violent cramps. I shall go almost blind, and hardly recognize the streets and the squares I know. I shall go half-deaf, so I can barely hear your requests. But I shall keep on reacting, with my soft moaning, my warm screaming, and my life-giving language. Take a few more painkillers, that clarifying remedy that makes me think and speak better in seclusion, and which sometimes lets me forget what I long for. I have cut the Norwegian heritage into little squares, so I can take it like medicine, like a sort of lozenge. Done in pastels, this little bit of the winding landscape will release my contorted digestion and heal my injured vocal cords. I am overcome by righteous indignation at the hallucinatory fact that nothing on this blue planet yields a profit so quickly, has such a short delivery time as the big C and the big A. There is no other trade on this globe whose market has grown so astronomically in the last 10 years. Oh, what a magnificent sky, hypnotic, a pulsing, calming glow. Could the sky be bleeding, or has a volcano erupted somewhere? God damn it, he's the most brilliant painter I know. The opening in the roof now looks like a gaping wound which seems to be calling for help. Should I make that gaping wound a little bigger? I estimate that the diameter is big enough for my unfinished creation. Suck up a little more white milk with my little vacuum cleaner. It eases my life in solitude. It gives me the strength to cope with my torment. I don't want to swing in my own speech. I want to give. Which Milky Way am I in now? The astronomical market offers unlimited space to new investors, trading agents, distributors, and of course to new investors and users. Nothing is so sought after and seductive. Nothing else on this globe has the same balance of demand and supply. The demand constantly growing, the supply constantly rising. A phenomenon that runs right through generations, just social classes and cultures, with requests of every sort and size, and always adapted to quality and taste. These two brilliant products, before which all ideological and religious differences yield, are the Big C and the Big A. They overcome every cultural obstacle and bridge any distance between continents. They are the true criminal wonders of contemporary capitalism, cocaine and art. They are a brilliant duo. They have become inseparable. They no longer exist without each other. They are Adam and Eve, Sonny and Cher, Tom and Jerry, Liz Taylor and Richard Barton, Simon and Garfunkel, Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire, Ike and Tina Turner, Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, Bonnie and Clyde, Paul McCartney and John Lennon, Julius Caesar and Cleopatra, Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid, Bonnie and Clyde, Fred and Wilma, Julius Caesar and Cleopatra, the Blues Brothers, the Chapman Brothers, Gilbert and George, the Menendez Brothers, the Cray Brothers, Beavis and Butthead, Goring and Hitler, Escobar and Minibar. I know that history will repeat itself. My long white beard will be frayed with icy fringes on the moon. My thighs will be rotten with soaking dew and crunching frost. My lower legs will be full of festering sores and pustules from which pus seeps. But my proud backbone will keep my weary head upright, and I shall not stop calling with a voice of tenderness. Since the perfectly executed break-in in the ice-cold but so well-disciplined Norway, and the gigantic swindle I set up with the Norwegian masterpiece, I have felt more alert and self-confident than ever. But it might also be that this feeling is enhanced by the constant use of the white miracle powder. I know them, my golden insects and my beloved jewels. Perhaps they like torturing me. Look, this big swelling here was made by the wasp. In this bite lies the acid of the ant. Look, these little swollen spots that itch so much are bites from mosquitoes and horseflies. This little series of wound drawings was made by the thorns of these 24-carat chains. For 2 years now, I have lived in retreat. I have punished myself. Why? Because in the Valhalla of global organized crime, the law of honor no longer counts, and friends do not exist. And because I was a gifted thief who realized that there is a paradoxical point when an imitation of life becomes so good that it's bad. I was always looking for the unscrupulous artist in myself to be able to produce the perfect fortress of priceless masterpieces. And because I was an artful swindler who knew that the real skill in art theft lay not in breaking in and stealing, but in selling the forged work of art. I was always looking for distinguished victims I could mislead with refinement. I sold my so-called booty to the worst riffraff in Parliament. And because I'm a proud gangster who's never been run in and was addicted to cocaine and art. I'm always looking for beauty and the high and the eye of beauty. That's why I'm here and let myself be visited by you, herdsmen of the cultural world with a fervent hysterical belief in beauty, whereby the boundary between piety and violence sometimes appears to be paper thin. Maybe I should make the opening a bit more oval after all. Then the hole might look like a questioning wound. Yeah, that's a good idea. This inquiring wound is ready to receive my creation, which is yet to be completed. I'm tired. I'll use a little more medicinal powder. It gives me extra energy and the feeling of sexuality and creativity. I must disappoint my female audience because my wedding tackle has been completely shriveled by regular use. Piety has its price, does it not? One more line for the road and to ease my mental suffering. The most important reason I'm here is perhaps that I have had 2 true revelations. The first revelation was the day after I stole the painting of paintings, the painting I needed so badly, the greatest piece of Norwegian heritage. Masses of people streamed to the National Museum of Fine Art in Oslo, Norway, to see an empty space on the wall. Perhaps I've actually showed the reason why we look at art. Are we looking for something more special than what we lost? I shall bow 1,200 times between dawn and the sinking of the light. Each time I'll clean my feet and toes again by licking up my own urine and shit. A little piece of the body of the gnarled, fearful creature painted in oils and tempera on cardboard. It will digest easily, satisfy my desperate hunger, and give me back what I long for. I'm being plucked again by steps of pain. Is it my dear little creatures, or is it my razor-sharp golden jewelry? Another stab. I feel hundreds of stings with barb in my skin, like sucking ticks. In some places, the pumping sacks of poison are still on the barbs. My shortness of breath and my hoarseness, an allergic reaction. external features of the exercise of my punishment. I have installed myself with everything I need in this small theater. It's my deep ravine. When you know who I am, you understand that it's a place that's easier to get in than to get out of again. This acting area is my studio, where I let myself be guided only by the inherent qualities of beauty, mastery, and insight into the human situation. With euphoric intensity and unapproachable concentration, I let my saws, hammers, chisels, and little drills sing hymns. God damn it, he's the best DJ I know. This spot is also the training grounds of my philosophy, the refusal of external laws and the pursuit of inner rules. I want to transcend myself, acquire an understanding that gives me peace and joy. It's my vision, it's my goal. That's why I chose a radical and ascetic way of life. I don't drink. My milk is Coke. My coffee is Coke. My wine is Coke. My cola is Coke. These are my contemporary works of art. I don't eat. My food is white snow and a few small pieces of the screen. My bread is Coke. My pineapple is Coke. My banana is Coke. My fish is Coke. These are my contemporary works of art too. My meditation is snorting and purifying the alchemical powders until only white crystalline substance remains. This magical substance is the material from which I release my sculpture. I need a bit more. What shall I choose? Yes, a sliver of frantic red brushstroke that depicts on cardboard the waves of sound in a shriek. It will fit and strengthen my vocal cords in a healthy way. But this magical substance also creates you, my audience. The prayer of a just man is capable of a lot. Now I recognize you. You are all pilgrims who came to me from far and wide with just one request. And I shall grant this request with great love and respect. You will have to be patient a little longer. I think I need about another year to complete this genuine work of art, this stimulating sculpture, this white powdery column, this white crystalline pillar, this pure shaft. When this pure pillar reaches high enough, I shall invite you, my audience, to hold the ladder so I can solemnly climb my white virginal pillar and can avoid the jostling of the growing stream of pilgrims. As you can see, the chains and the motor are ready to rise up. The circular opening in the roof, that wide open mouth, isn't a fearful expression. This inquiring mouth is waiting for what it wants. The evening has turned dark. There's not a star to be seen. The sky is covered by a thick winding sheet of dark grey clouds. Can I hear the sky hidden behind it, softly crying? Has the sky been hurt? Or is it the dark hush that follows nature's violent spitting fire. My body trembles with impotence. God damn it. He's the most extreme anarchist I know. I need a few more lines of the magic potion to outmaneuver my traumatic fatigue, not to give up what I have lost. I'll take another little bit. Undulating painted lines in vivid blue and red colors in pastel and tempera. This is fucking finger-licking good. A few pieces of this canvas every day gives me the courage to believe that I will regain what I have lost. What a bright vision. What a spiritual image. I, Simon, gangster of art, who stands on a white pillar on the roof of this theater, just like a bright candle put in a candlestick. I shall shine like the sun in every direction. Day and night, I shall radiate light for you pilgrims. You will accept my daily rituals and ceaseless applications, and condemn the barbaric cult of forgery and addiction. You will listen to the nocturnal pains of my cold turkey and reject the show business culture of art and cocaine. You, pilgrims, will see the fulfillment of the promise. After 36 years, my life will be over. But what I will have done will influence the world even after my death. I know that history will repeat itself. I shall painstakingly sift all my thoughts and will take care of the Danish shame and guilt. My body and flesh will reveal my penance. And my body will realize that perhaps I can perform miracles, but cannot myself be saved. I am being hurt. I am being beaten again. Why these ordeals? I know very well the difference between a bite and a sting. Righteous indignation is stealing over me at the monstrous fact that a third of the world's population lives in poverty and misery. How is it possible that we let people languish so? That's why I've decided to restate one of man's major duties, the practice of elementary justice. My modest contribution is to break with our criminal economic egotism. I shall see to it that the investment potential of art is slowly but surely destroyed, so that the intrinsic value of art, the healing and spiritual powers of beauty are given a chance once again. And I have seen to it that no one can buy any more cocaine. I, Simon, the gangster of art, alias the king of snow. No drugs barons exist anymore. There's only one criminal family, and that family is me. I'm an organized clan, a one-man cartel. I'm the broker, the collector, the dealer, the pusher, and the user. I am the narco-state. I'm so addicted that I'm beyond addiction, because only a masochist artist lives in Belgium for his pleasure. I possess all the cocaine in the world. It is the sea of snow that you pilgrims see here. I have put up all the stocks of cocaine, using several forgeries of the scream. I'm being pricked again by the golden thorns of my jewelry. That's a bite by one of my spiders. Why are the spiders biting me? They don't even like blood. I sometimes have to restrain myself, but I shall never kill a single one of my beloved insects. They are my children. They were born in the fault of my flesh. My second and even more intense revelation was 2 years after my spectacular theft, public interest in the National Museum of Fine Art in Oslo, in Norway, has grown even greater because I saw to it that Edvard Munch's painting, The Scream, was exhibited again. It was, of course, a perfect forgery, because I'm eating the original painting here and now, bit by bit. Perhaps I have demonstrated the reason why we cannot be without art, because art gives us back what we had lost. I know that history will repeat itself. My brain will bake in the scorching sun and freeze in the ice-cold moon. My body will be unnaturally grey and blue. I shall become a lifeless skin over a bony corpse. There will be no more breath, only the smell of many stinking perfumes that dries out of my body. Here, this bit, the little head with its screaming mouth on the ghostly figure will taste extremely delicious and digest well. And I sense I shall be able to scream, and I shall not allow my body to fall. I shall specialize in the art of suffering. In my suffering, I shall preserve life by dividing death into 1,000 times standing. I shall stand up straight on my pillar of cocaine, on my platform of resistance. I shall not be adorned, but buried under offerings of gold. I, Simon, who am I? May I be who I am without feeling guilty. I, Simon, the king of snow, be for you pilgrims, a holy gangster. God damn it, he's the most pious atheist I know. My body is burning. I am too highly sensitive. I am more touchy than usual. Have too many insects bitten me? Or have I been stung too much by my golden thorns? Breathe evenly. Stay calm. A candid feeling of impotence. And that's a really awful feeling. It's a normal reaction because I'm completely dependent on the white magical powder that gives me courage. Don't complain. There's no problem. I prefer to endure the painful and dangerous bites and stings and aspire to higher things by enduring the little things. The magic powder takes me to another dimension. I am being lit up. Where does this radiant white light come from? The circular opening is an overlit white hole I can disappear into and find myself in. It's a wide open mouth that's ready to be penetrated. I shall stand proudly upright on the roof of this theater, on my white, pure, crystalline pillar, on my battlefield of the daily struggle. I shall not be adorned, but buried under relics of inestimable beauty. I, Simon, gangster of art, will for you pilgrims be a stylite, a saint on a pillar who screams the arcane scream of gentle